Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. What's in the news today? Protests at Ubisoft. All right, before we jump into it, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, the notifications button, all those good things that help you keep up with us talking about crap that we love the most, video games. So let's jump into it. All right, Ubisoft shareholder plots protests outside of the Paris headquarters, accusing company of failing to reveal discussions with Microsoft, EA, and others allegedly interested in acquiring IPs. Threatens to sue for misleading investors, A minority shareholder in Ubisoft is attempting to organize a protest outside the company's Paris headquarters. God, I can't read today. Accusing it of failing to disclose alleged discussions with Microsoft, EA, and others. Publishers reportedly interested in acquiring its franchises. In a statement seen by IGN, and I apologize if I mispronunciate this, but I know I'm going to. Juraj Krupa, CEO of AJ Investments, claimed Ubisoft is horribly mismanaged. No arguments there. Horribly mismanaged by current management and wants a clear roadmap for recovery. From the senior team to addressing declining shareholder value, lackluster operational execution, and failure to adapt effectively to market trends. Krupa alleged that Ubisoft has not been... hold on, my screen messed up here. Krupa alleged that Ubisoft has not been transparent about the decision-making, accusing the firm of hiding information, including an Assassin's Creed Mirage DLC partnership with the Saudi investment firm Savvy Group. The shareholder also pointed out to a restricted article published by business investment platform Merger Market that alleged discussions between Microsoft, EA, and others are interested in acquiring IPs from Ubisoft. Management did not inform public about these steps either, Krupa has claimed. Ubisoft issued the following statement to IGN. As we mentioned during our quarter 3 sales, the review of various this is a lot of businessy bullshit here. Various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options. The board has established an ad hoc independent committee to oversee this formal and competitive process so as to extract the best value from Ubisoft assets and franchises for all stakeholders. Ubisoft will inform the market in accordance with applicable regulations if and once a transaction materializes. Back in October, Bloomberg reported Ubisoft founding Guillemot family and shareholder Tencent were in discussions to take the company private. Following a number of high-profile flops, game cancellations, and collapse of the company's share price, at the time, the talks were merely exploratory, and Ubisoft told IGN it would inform the market if and when appropriate. So we've been hearing a lot about this for a long time now, especially the Tencent Ubisoft going private deal. If I was a shareholder, and I think hopefully Nick understands and anybody watches understands, I think shareholders have a place and they need to stay in their place. But what he is saying, I don't disagree with. I think everything he's saying is probably pretty accurate with Ubisoft right now. It's hard for me to say, yeah, go get him and sue him, but because I do believe that if you invest in a company, it's because you believe in them, and if you stop believing in them, take your money out. But that's just me. So, Nick, what do you think? I mean, obviously, Ubisoft has been swirling that bowl for quite a while, and they are not making the smartest decisions, and they have been saying some of the dumbest crap about those decisions. How they are going to proceed with everything they've done that's failed. They're going to continue with.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Matt? Do you think? Well, one, do you think a protest is really going to do any good? And two, do you think this guy has a point? Krupa. King Krupa.
A protest might work, especially since he's a shareholder. If he can get other shareholders on board, then that could definitely work. And what Krupa is alleging or saying, yeah, I mean, he does have a point, right? Ubisoft, I believe, is a public company. So anything that they do, in regards to selling their IPs or whatever they're going to be doing, has to be told and discussed with the shareholders and the public and things like that. It has to be put out in the open. That's what a public company, being public is all about. If they went private, then there would be no problem with that. So as a shareholder, it sounded like he was unaware of this happening. So they're going behind shareholders and doing things like, talking to other groups and other factors without the input from the shareholders, not letting the shareholders know what's going on. So it's not a good look for Ubisoft, and it could definitely get them in. I would assume in some sort of, I don't know the laws over in Paris, as far as that goes when with that type of stuff. But yeah, it might work. But I mean, Ubisoft is, like you said, they've had a lot of issues. They've been spiraling for quite some time. They've had a lot of high profile flops, a lot of games that have flopped, and they just can't seem to cut it with any of their games. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out soon. It looks good for an Assassin's Creed game, for a Ubisoft game. I think it looks good, and I'm excited about the location and the age and various things like that it's based in. The only thing that really is causing me to not jump on the Assassin's Creed Shadows bandwagon is the fact that it's Ubisoft, right? I have zero confidence in Ubisoft anymore. I'm not confident in anything they do or anything they make. So it's really hard for me to keep confidence in Ubisoft when their games completely flop. I'm looking forward to Shadows, but in the sense of, like I said, but at the same time, I'm really kind of waiting to see what the public says about it before I decide to play it, because if everyone, if it ratings and other gamers that do end up playing it say me, or whatever, then I'll know, okay, it ain't worth playing. So yeah, I mean, but Krupa, I think he definitely has a point. Management did not inform the public about the steps in which they were taking to, in which Ubisoft, again, I don't know the laws over there, but Ubisoft says, oh, well, we'll let people know if we're going to actually go through with a sale. And I don't know if that's kosher. I don't know if that's going to work out. I mean, what do you think about that?
It's Ubisoft, so I don't expect any smart decisions to be made. Because they constantly and continuously seem like they want to double down on what they're failing on. And we've said it 1,000 times. Ubisoft used to be held in such high regard, and now it's crap. I mean, it's just crap. Rainbow Six is the only thing that they've truly put out that's been successful and innovative and everything. In my opinion, of course, if you like break lands or whatever the hell it was called, go for it, enjoy it, play it. But for me, they're making the same goddamn mistakes continuously and constantly, and I can't blame this guy as a shareholder, being extremely concerned about what's going on with Ubisoft and his investment in it. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of shareholders. I think they have their place, and if they don't feel comfortable with it and they don't feel confident with what's happening, Say, look, you have XY time to give me confidence or taking my money out. Plain and simple. That's what he should be doing. Now, granted, I can agree with the protest too. If that can get any kind of motivation to, try to right the ship, go for it. But is it going to do any good?
I doubt it.
He is a minority shareholder. So he would have to get a lot of the other shareholders.
If he was a majority shareholder, then that would probably get some sway. But being a minority shareholder, I doubt it.
Unless he can get enough of the minority,
unless he can get the support
to scare the majority,
right?
To scare the leadership, right. Which is what needs to happen. I mean, it's like this. I don't develop games; I play games.
Right.
I understand they are a money centric investment for developers, but you have got to remember what got you where you are. I mean, Ubisoft has clearly forgotten that, hasn't thought about what got them there in decades. So we're just gonna have to wait and see to how they can, what happens with this, and if Ubisoft will learn anything. But it's just, there's no confidence in that. I mean, like you said, this new Assassin's Creed looks great in concept. It looks like it could be fun. I like the ideals of it, but here's the thing: it's Ubisoft.
Yeah,
you know what it is. You're gonna start. You're gonna do an introduction. The map's gonna explode. Shit's gonna go everywhere, and people like Pat are gonna get lost in all the shinies and never finish the game. And I'm right there with them. I love a decent open world game, but I think they've gotten too much. I think a lot of games take them way too far. Valhalla, when it first started, the first hour or so before the map exploded and all the poop went everywhere, I loved it. I love the story. I love the drive of the character and the people and everything. And then the map exploded and it lost all of that. It lost every bit
Valhalla,
of that.
That first island that you start on.
Yep.
That part was great. Like, I enjoyed that a lot. And then as soon as you get on the boat and go to the big island, I was like, at that point, I'd lost interest. Right. As soon as I landed there and the map exploded and there was just so much, I'm just like, you know what? I'm kind of done right now. I don't want to continue this.
Yeah.
Like that first part, because it was so condensed. I think that's what really was nice about it. It was a condensed small area that you could do. But when you got to that bigger continent, it was just so large and so, there was so much out there. It was just like, I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. I don't want to start. Right. Like, I'm done.
And games are so time consuming as they are, especially in this world of live service. Everybody wants to keep that character going and building, and in games like Fortnite and Call of Duty and all that stuff. And then you have games like First Dependent and all that. People are trying to keep and build these characters and just keep them up and up and up. And these live service games, the other games have got to basically trim down, so you have time to play those and enjoy them still. Get my money value out of it, because obviously they're not going to lower the price for a smaller content game. But a game needs to be able to be played and enjoyed. But there's another game coming out next week, or you're working on a live service game, you're never going to finish it. I've been struggling to finish Avowed. Because I even dumbed down the difficulty so I could fly through a little bit quicker, because I really enjoy the game. I really do. I think it's a really fun game. It's may not be everyone's, but I really enjoy it. And I'm trying to complete Wilds. Plus, I got all this other crap in my catalog I'm trying to get through. Besides being employed and a parent and all that shit. Games like Valhalla should have stayed on that island. Make that island a little bigger, obviously, to beef up that story. But then it would have been a great game, I think, because I think that first couple hours is superb, just superb. But and then they pissed it away. So, but they do it on every game. Every game has to be exploded dog crap all over. A map the size of Texas,
right?
or
And
whatever.
it could be
country.
more of like for Ubisoft especially with Assassin's Creed, because it's kind of turned into an Assassin's Creed talk. But I think less is more in some of those games. Like,
yes,
even if they want to have ever expanding areas, not ever expanding, but I mean, what they could do is even if they want to have a big map, they could do just small sections at a time, right? Mm-hmm. That you kind of do activities in that small section, and the map opens up to another section, and it introduces things there, that you can complete and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, the pacing seems to. And I think for like Assassin's Creed, get rid of the animus crap. Like, just have it be the
character,
or the assassins in that age, right?
Make a story about the age that you're in with the animus. It's just. I agree.
Think. I mean, I know some people like, and
Pat,
I guess
Pat is big with the animus stuff.
Yeah, and
that's great for
Assassin's Creed fans that are big into the whole animus thing and everything. I always thought that, like, for me personally, I thought the animus part was probably the lower. For me, it was the lower part of the game. Like, I didn't give two craps about that part. I liked the whole. I liked just the age, and like in Assassin's Creed 1 or 2 or whatever. I liked just being the assassin in the era. I didn't give a crap about the modern day, like pods and that whole thing that they were trying to, make outside of the game. Like, to me, that didn't interest me. Like, I just like, you could make a million of these games because you could just make any sort of age. And that's pretty much what they do with it. But then they have to circle in the whole animus thing. And it's like, I don't know. For me, it feels like it takes away from the game, right? Because you're doing stuff in the game, and then all of a sudden it takes you out, and then you're, Bob outside the animus, and you got to walk around and collect like stones in the ground or whatever. And you're like, what am I doing? It's like just taking me out of the whole, like, what I was just doing there.
Yeah,
you're taking me out of the game.
Yeah, you're playing as a character, and you're enjoying it, and you're loving it. And next thing you know, you're in somebody else. You're in some strange world, and it, in my opinion, just like yours, it doesn't do anything for the game.
Especially when they killed off.
Ezio?
No, when they killed off the guy that initially was in the animus. What's his face?
Freaking shit.
I can't remember. Not the original assassin, but the kid that was in the animus from the beginning, and then like what was it, Assassin's Creed 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. They killed him off, but Darius or something like that, or Darwin or Dawson's Creek, something. I don't know. But anyway,
you killed the Dawson.
Like, I thought, okay, because initially I thought, like, okay, they're going to take this character and then eventually they're going to have a modern time assassin. And he's going to become the assassin, and you're going to go against the company. But then they just kill him off, and now you just play as, like, Jim Bob out in the desert somewhere with a stolen animus, and you guys are trying to, and it's like, I don't care about these people now.
Just see that too. Hey, Jim Bob, hook up that there animus to my Ford.
Hook up that animus.
You're gonna go back in time. You better bring you a 12-pack.
My truck won't start. Hook the animus up to the battery there, and let's see if we can can't jump this bastard.
Oh my God! Billy Joe Bob goes back in time.
It really is. It feels like that now, because it's like you got rid of the crucial characters of that whole thing, and it was almost like Ubisoft was going to kill off that whole part, but then the fans didn't want it, so they're like, well, we already killed what's his face.
Yeah.
So we'll still have it, right?
Yeah. How do we deal with the backlash?
I don't think it. I just don't think it fits anymore. Like, don't do that part.
No, unfortunately, it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft is going to continue to Ubisoft. They've said so. They said they're going to do everything that they've been doing wrong, that they were going to continue with that. And Investors should be bothered by that. Investors should be pissed by that, straight up. So we're just going to see how things go.
Yep.
So, anyways, if you made it to the end of this, awesome job. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you think Ubisoft track record has been for the last, say, 15 years. Where do you think the fall off has, started? Let us know in the comments below.
Are you
maybe
interested in Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Are you interested in Assassin's Creed Jim Bop? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments below. But again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, notifications, all those good buttons to help you keep up with us when we talk about video games. See ya.